Stop waiting. Stop waiting. If there's one thing to learn from this whole pandemic and where we go from here, number one is to stop waiting. I was asked the other day, where do we go from here? It's the end of 2020. We're going into 2021. Where do we go from here? Well, just because we're going to 2021 doesn't mean, and the calendar flips over, doesn't mean that anything else is going to change that quickly. So I made a list of about 9 things that where we go from here that I think will help you. These are the changes that you are going to have to make if you're going to have a great and happy life and to get into success. There's no reason why you can't have as high of a success level as you've had in the past, if not greater. Number 1, stop waiting. Stop waiting for the government. Stop waiting for your boss. Stop waiting for other people to tell you what to do. Stop waiting for them to give you something, and stop waiting for them to bail you out. Because if you haven't figured that out by now, that strategy is not going to get you anywhere but broke and unhappy. Okay? So don't do that. Stop waiting. Take initiative. The thing I hate the most when people say to me, well, I'm waiting for somebody to get back to me. Don't ever wait. Be in control of your own destiny. Don't put your life in the hands of somebody else as best you can, as much as your education will let you. That's number 1. Number 2, we learned through the pandemic that connection, the connection that we all took on when we got locked down and quarantined and in and out of quarantine and all of that has been priceless. Those people that connect the best through Zoom and through the internet, so however you do it, is priceless, and take that with you going into 2021. Learn how to connect. And if you don't have anybody to connect with, find a group to connect with. I'm going to talk about that in a second. Because number 3 is the other thing we know is your number 1 asset. Your number 1 asset is your team, your tribe. And these days, all of you, obviously on social media, understand that things have changed. So you create a community, even if it's a couple hundred people or 20 or 30 people that follow you. That's your community. The community becomes your tribe. Your tribe then become customers if you're going to sell them something, if you want to. And that and those customers become your team. And that team puts more people into your community. Now you have a movement. A movement doesn't have to be millions of people. A religion is a movement. But you know what? 35, 40 people all committed to the same set of ideals of a similar mission, that's a movement too. So create movements, okay? Number 4, your health. By the way, I'm going to combine these next. Number 4 and 5, your health. Listen, your health. Listen, you're not listening. Your health and your wealth are your responsibility. Don't be waiting for vaccines. I hope the vaccines come, but don't be waiting for vaccines and waiting for the government and waiting for this and waiting for that and waiting for the next. Your health, my health, and our wealth is our responsibility. Every single one of us have the ability to manage our health and to make our bodies and immune systems as strong as we possibly can. Is it hard work? Yeah, heck yeah, hell yeah, it's hard work. It's hard work to work out. It's hard work to eat the right things. But you know it's worth it because you have a little long, happy life and you feel better about it. Your wealth, you can rely on your boss, on your job, on a disappearing job, on businesses going out right and left for your wealth. Don't wait on that either. Get your financial education. That at Rich Dad Advisors, that's what Rich Dad Company, which I'm part of the Rich Dad Advisors, committed to the financial well-being. But you've got to get educated. It's your responsibility. Don't shirk it off to somebody else. Where do we go from here? This is where we're going from here. So don't be waiting. That was, remember, number 1, don't be waiting for anybody else. Number 6, vigilance. Okay, I haven't mentioned this before. Vigilance. What does that mean? That means to watch what's going on around you. Look at the big picture. Don't always listen to everything that you hear and read from me or from anybody else or what people are telling you. You got to make your own judgments, which is actually also on this list here. Yeah, you got to make your own judgments based on your truth, not what other crowds and what other people tell you to do. The truth is something that's very difficult to find these days. So be vigilant. Watch what's going on around you. What's the government doing? What's your industry doing? What's society doing? What's your community doing? What's going on? Be vigilant. Step back and look at it. Don't be a victim of it. Okay? I remember when I was a Boy Scout. When I was a Boy Scout, the motto of being a Boy Scout is be prepared. Be prepared. I don't know what I'm being prepared for. I'm just being prepared. It's not like I'm stocking guns and food and all that stuff. All some people do, and maybe that's not a bad idea. But just be mentally, physically, emotionally prepared for whatever happens. Be vigilant. We've gone through some crazy elections here in the United States. As we move on, as governments move on, as pandemics moved on, and all of those things, just be vigilant and watch. Vigilance means to be observant, to be on guard a little bit, to take a look at what's really going on behind the scenes, and to be able to make your own clear judgments about it. The truth is only your truth. There is no other truth. Everything else is kind of collective reality. Everybody's got a collective consciousness, and this is their reality. Reality is not necessarily the truth. Reality is what we all agree that the truth is, and so now that's our reality. For some people, their reality is it's a depressing time. For other people, their reality is the most opportunistic time. So which is the truth? The truth is what's true for you. Okay? Have the confidence to make your own judgments. Okay? Learn, number 7, right? Learn new skills. Learn new skills. You hear me talk about sales and teams and all that stuff. Learn how to unify. If there's one word to learn how to unify people. You look around the world, we're busted up, stay at home, quarantine, this group, that group, Republicans, Democrats, all this other stuff. Everybody's divided. Learn how to be a leader that knows how to unify. Now, I know that's difficult because you didn't learn it in school. School actually prepared everybody for all this garbage that we're dealing with right now. Why? They put you into groups, be good, do as you're told, broke you in, as Bucky Fuller says, elementary school. That means it broke the whole into elements, so you never saw the whole picture. You never learned about financial education. Okay? But learn how to unify people, learn how to bring people together, common goal, common vision, common mission. Work on high frequency. And, on YouTube, the whole series on communication, blairsinger.com, tons of material. Much of it is free. Material that'll help you with these skills. Because right now the world needs leaders. And if you're watching this still, after all these minutes, you're one of them. Okay, so learn new skills. There'll be a lot of people that are going to want to pull you into their cause. Trust me. There's going to be more of that. There's going to be a lot of people who want to pull you in, take a side. I'm not saying not to do it, but I'm saying choose your battles wisely. Choose your battles wisely for the greater good and for your truth. What's true for you is true. Not for anybody else, but for you, okay? So be careful. Choose them wisely. Become, as Bucky Fuller says, we were meant to be architects of our futures, not victims. Learn how to be a leader and create futures. We talk on some of our other YouTube videos about PERT, Program Evaluation Review Technique, and specifically a tool to help you design futures with your team with a high level of certainty, regardless of economic conditions. But learn how to become an architect of your future. Again, don't wait for somebody to dictate your future. Create it for yourself. Start with goals. Start with visualizations. Whatever it takes to do that. One of the skills to be able to learn is little voice mastery, how to win the war between your ears. There's not a problem out there that cannot be solved. All problems can be solved. If you're confused and you don't know and you're worried about it, the confusion and the worry is blocking your vision. Someone out there has an answer and somebody's willing to cooperate with you. You just got to get your little voice to calm down, eliminate the fear, and learn how to deal with uncertainty. I was just reading the other day that if you can deal with uncertainty, all kinds of opportunities will show up. If you're afraid of uncertainty, you will live in fear and you will struggle. Okay? Last one, number 9, and that's this. More than ever before, we talk about, at the Rich Dad Advisors, we talk about the cash flow quadrant. You're either an employee, self-employed, business owner, or investor, right? And we say that the idea is to move to the right side of the quadrant, which is where business owners and investors, you make more money. And S stands for small business or solo entrepreneur, and B stands for big business. But big business is not just big in numbers of employees. Big is how big is your team. Your team can be, as I said, could be a movement. It could be a global movement of people that are committed to a mission. But what I'm saying is this, is that these days and going forward, a small, very high-performance team with a little bit of technology can take on the world, can take on anybody. There's countless examples out there. In future videos, we'll talk about some of that stuff. So as B, as my friend Robert would say, B stands for brand. And what is a brand? A brand is what you deliver on a consistent basis. It's what customers say about you day in and day out. And so what is your brand? Because your brand will sell, and your brand will create a future for yourself. And you don't need a whole lot of people to create a brand, but you do need a team. You must be on a team. And if you don't have one, if you're a little confused about doing that, join one. Join one that shares your values in whatever industry it is. Excuse me. In whatever industry you're in. Hold on. So you don't need a lot of people. You just need a small group of people, very committed, high performance, a little bit of technology. By the way, not just IT technology or artificial intelligence and Zoom and all that kind of stuff. What I'm also talking about is I'm talking about mental technology, processes that you can use and be coached in to be able to clear your ego, clear the fear, clear the little voices in your brain that stop you from doing what you want to do or what you need to do, okay? High performance teams. What do I mean by that? It's a high performance team is a team with no superstars. Everybody pulls. Everybody's pulling the oars. We all pull together. There's no rock stars, and we all become rock stars. But we make a difference in the world, driven by a mission. I've seen lots of businesses come and go over the years, and I've seen lots of businesses come and go over the last 9 months through 2020. I've seen a lot of people struggle. I've seen a lot of people do extremely well. But it's never too late. It's never too late to kick some ass. It's never too late to kick some ass. If you go back through and watch this again, I'd like you to watch this 2 or 3 times and share it with somebody else. Share it with somebody else. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to this. And I'm going to keep feeding you tools that I see out there in the world that are going to make 2021 better, 2022 better, 2023 better, all these things better. But you've got to repeat. Part of education is to watch it again. You watch a video, watch it again if it's got good information. If you don't like the information, don't watch it again. But if it's information that strikes home with you, watch it again. Because what we know about the way your brain works, the more you repeat, the more you remember. The more you remember, the more you're able to apply. The more you're able to apply, the better your life gets if it's good material, okay? So again, if you got questions, let me know about it. Subscribe, tell your friends, share this. I think we're in for some amazing times. But if you're not vigilant, if you're waiting, if you're not connected, if you don't have a team, if you're not taking responsibility for your health and your wealth, and you haven't learned the right new skills and you don't have a team, it's going to be tough. It's going to be very, very tough for you. If you put these pieces together, could be the best of times. Look forward to talking to you. Be amazing.